Hello and welcome to our scoop. Be sure to subscribe and hit the like button if you enjoy this video. Story 1. Am I wrong for telling my girlfriend she's overreacting? I, 25M, and my girlfriend Allie, 21F, have been together for a little over a year. I love her to death, but she has these little habits that drive me insane. We just moved in together at the start of August. First off, she doesn't really like to cook. I love to cook, so I do it more often than she does. Because of this, I decided the dishes are her job. It's only fair that if I cook dinner for both of us a few times a week, I don't do any dishes. Plus I work. We both work 12-hour shifts. Mine are night shifts and hers are both. She's been off for a few weeks because she got a concussion. So while I work my 3 shifts a week, she stays home. We had a fight the other day because I found out she made food for herself while I was working, and didn't tell me there were leftovers, so I didn't know I could eat it when I got home the next morning. She also ate a chicken burger 2 days in a row while I was gone. I said it was excessive and that she shouldn't eat the same thing that often. She claims it was because she can't be up for long with her concussion. And they're easy. She snacks on random things. She won't just eat crackers. She'll eat cereal out of the box. She bought a box of Fruit Loops a week ago, and today I saw her eating them dry and most of the bag was already gone. I took them out of her hands and put it away. She was mad, but I told her cereal is expensive and she shouldn't just eat it like that. She does the same thing when she buys frozen fruit. I took that away from her too a couple of times because she'd eat it multiple days in a row. I work 3 nights in a row a week. Then I have 4 days off. I keep my schedule the rest of the week because it's easier. I sleep around 7 a.m. most days and wake at 5 p.m. When I get up, I ask Allie to help me unpack my boxes and she never wants to. She claims it's because she's been up all day, but I think she doesn't want to unpack my stuff. Since her head has been improving, she's been unpacking more of her boxes. But it's a waste of time. She takes out books when my kitchen stuff is boxed. We don't need books out. And she puts her stuff places without checking if I'm okay with it. Yesterday she said she was going to go to the store. I told her to stay home because we needed to unpack my stuff. We started unpacking a box, but she got a headache and stopped. I haven't been able to get most of my stuff unpacked since we moved in, because she's been concussed the whole time and can't help me. I've been waiting for her, but she's upset with me that I haven't unpacked anything myself. Because apparently that's what I should have been doing. She got mad at me and said I'm controlling since we moved in. I said she's overreacting. I'm just trying to make sure she eats right and we each do half. She also got mad at me for my sleep schedule. Because it's hard being the one watching our 2 dogs all day. I feel like she's overreacting. Am I wrong? Opinion. You are 100% wrong for treating her this way. Based on the information you've given, you sound like a very controlling person. She is not a child. So there is no need to treat her as if she is one. Trying to control everything she does down to what she eats and how often she eats the same food is just plain weird, and anyone would be annoyed by this. Grabbing food from her hand and putting it back is very rude and uncalled for. Just by the way you've worded things tells everything. If she puts something in a place and you don't agree, maybe have a conversation about it or make a better suggestion. But no need to act like she is incapable when you are also relying heavily on her to help you do such a simple thing as unpack your own boxes. Sleeping for 10 hours and immediately asking for her help is crazy. She works the same amount as you, but you expect more from her than you do yourself. She has a concussion. It seems you should be more worried about her getting better than pestering her to help you unpack. Maybe question yourself on why such small things she does bothers you. Do you really like her? This has to be something internal because all of the things you described seem fairly normal to the general population. You should really unpack why you feel bothered by little things like that. Story 2. Am I wrong for telling my husband to stop giving to his family? My husband and I met in community college. and got married 6 years ago. He works with AI. And I work as a part-time nurse. Obviously, he makes significantly more money than me, but we have thus far lived well below our means, to the extent that my salary alone can probably support our current lifestyle. We live in a 2-bedroom house which was given to me by my uncle as a graduation present. And while comfortable, our daughter, too, is getting to the age where she needs a bigger house and yard to play in. I've been asking my husband to look into bigger homes in better neighborhoods for the past 6 months. And each time he tells me he'll look into it. And he'll sit with me looking at homes that fit what we are looking for, only to back out of it before we take the next step. Then last week, I heard him on the phone with his mom, 63, asking if she needs more money. And if she wants more than last month on a consistent basis. His mother moved to London to live with her brothers and sisters after her husband, my husband's father, died 7 years ago. He left my mother-in-law a large sum of cash, which she spent instantly to buy a large house in London and to move all her brothers and sisters from Iran to the United Kingdom, where they live together in a 5-bedroom home. I used to think they were each working, and/or had some leftover cash from buying the home. But after I overheard them on the phone, I asked my husband how much his family needed, and if they were struggling to make ends meet. To his credit, he was very forward with me and explained the whole scenario, detailing how they have no cash of their own, and how none of them hold a job, and he's been giving them between $5,000 to $10,000 a month for the past 4 years. It turns out that when they had all originally moved to London, my husband's 3 uncles, between the ages of 40 to 50, had held jobs as delivery drivers or whatnot, while his mother and aunt and 50 stayed home. Then when my husband got his new job 4 years ago, which I have now found out pays significantly more than I thought, and he started giving them money, his uncles quit their jobs and he alone funded them. He has given them nearly $350K in the past 4 years, which is already a lot. But for a group of 5 able-bodied adults, with a paid-off home and taking full advantage of all the publicly funded benefits of the UK system, it becomes far too much in my eyes. I started telling him how his main responsibility is to his family here, and how his daughter's well-being and comfort should be his priority. He said it is a priority, how he still is saving up a lot of money for our eventual move, and that he's saved up more than he's given. He said it's just delayed it by a year or 2, and that we had to wait for the housing bubble to pop anyways before buying an expensive house. We argued for a bit before he called me unreasonable and cold. I am now wondering, am I in the wrong here? Opinion. This situation is tricky in my opinion. I can see both sides, because likely there may be a cultural difference here. I do feel as though the communication needs to be better, because the fact that you guys have been married for 6 years and you didn't know he was sending them so much money, or maybe even that he was sending them money at all, says something. You also just found out how much he actually gets paid, which is crazy. All I can really assume based on what you told is that you and your daughter are not his first priority. I don't know what the family dynamic is over in Iran, but paying for the entire living of 5 grown adults is not cheap and it's not smart. If he loses his job, then what? $5,000 to $10,000 a month does seem like an excessive amount in my opinion. Knowing they can get jobs themselves but decide to live off of his income is odd. Especially because their house is paid off, so they don't have a mortgage to pay and they get benefits. I would just suggest that you and your husband try to come to a compromise and talk about the communication factor, for the benefit of your marriage. I hope everything works out well.